Turn it down.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining our webinar. I'm your host, Brian Stamate, Sales Supervisor here at ACC Telecom. First, we're going to go ahead and hear a few words from the CEO and President, Mr. Barry Hunt. Then we're going to get right into the two voice over IP options that are available to businesses. Barry, go ahead. It's your parts now.
Hi, everyone. I want to thank everyone for business that you've done with us in the past, the present, and anyone that's getting ready to do business with us. I want to thank you. I want to take a second to thank Kristen Hunt for putting this entire presentation together. And I also want to thank Brian for stepping out of his comfort zone and doing this presentation. This is our first webinar. They say this isn't our first rodeo, but it is our first rodeo. And I'm having a terrible feedback right now, so it's difficult for me to concentrate. But anyway, if anything goes wrong here, blame it on the government. I came on first because I want to make sure that anyone that has a very old phone system, could be up to 20 years old, I don't want anyone to think that because we're introducing new technology that we're going to leave you behind. We've been providing inventory and technical support now for 20 years to old phone systems, and we'll continue if that's what you choose to do. But I do want to introduce our full line of products that we handle. There's three ways to purchase or provide a phone communications. There's hybrid, which is a combination of analog, digital, and IP. There is pure IP, and there's new hosted IP. We provide all three, and we do it through two major manufacturers, Toshiba and Cisco. So part of this presentation is about the third, hosted. The first two, Toshiba and Cisco, are products that you would purchase, lease. They would reside on your property. You would be responsible for managing them, whether you're going to update software, increase features, that's your decision. The hosted is all you're going to have are internet phones connected to a switch just like a computer. Everything's going to be provided by us through the internet, and we handle all maintenance, updates. You have the latest and greatest all the time. Does that mean that fits every business? Absolutely not. Every business, it depends on your cabling, it depends on your infrastructure, the network backbone, your mobility. Are you multiple locations? Do you have the right technical people on staff? There's a lot of decisions to make on which one fits you, and that's why we actually represent all three ways of providing equipment to you. What else? The other half of this presentation is about SIP trunking, which is basically internet, making phone calls over the internet to keep it simple. You have one flat fee, you have unlimited calling, and this technology can be hooked up to any phone system you have. If you have an old phone system, we have to put in a gateway to convert the language of IP to your digital system. If you have a system in the last 5 years, we can put a VoIP IP card in your system that connect to these internet phone lines. If you buy a brand new system, you can take the SIP telephone, internet phone lines and connect them directly to the system. You don't need a card or a gateway. So where am I at? Not all presidential debate. I want to make the last comment. If you've been following the presidential debate lately, and we're going to hear this for the next year, all middle-class people are going to disappear. Most small businesses are going out of business, and we're all going to be unemployed, because that's what they have to say. But if you have a business in the Baltimore, Washington area, we're not affected by that. We have a strong economy, and I just like to, as an example of that, show that we've added 6 new employees in the past 6 months, and Friday I hope to add the 7th one. So it's not gloom and doom. You need to take a look at your business. You need to realize the environment and economy that you're in and do the proper thing when it comes to communications. Thank you for your time. Thanks again for your business, and I'm going to pass this back to Brian. Thanks.
Well, that was great, Barry. Thanks very much for your input. So we'll just go ahead and get started right into the webinar here. The first thing I wanted to show you is 2 options. The 2 flavors, if you will, of voice over IP are hosted all the way, and VoIP 2.0 we call it, which is our SIP trunking line service. The reason why we're even having this webinar is because 98% of people who have already implemented voice over IP services through their peers, sorry about that, 98% of the people that have this voice over IP actually recommend it all to their peers and the people they work with because they love the ability to work from home and all the features that it comes with. So first thing is, by definition, what is hosted technology? It's a host take care of its guests. ACC Telecom, with the power of the internet, is able to utilize your existing data network and internet and allow its customers to use our enterprise telephone equipment to give you a fully functional telephone system and phone lines while being monitored 24/7 by our skilled engineers and staff. This gives you 0 telecom headaches, 1 bill for your phone and your phone system, premium sound quality, and we can even lower your electricity bill with this type of technology because you no longer have a large phone system or PBX hanging on the wall. That's all completely gone now. It's just all through a little router and a little switch, and we put phones. To show you exactly what that is, here is the actual diagram that shows you how it basically works. And believe it or not, it really truly is this easy. Using our SIP devices, whether it be the Cisco or Polycom approved ACC Telecom SIP phones, we're able to bring the features many of you are currently used to on your older or existing phone system today directly over your internet access. Now, of course, there's a lot of other features that come along with it that older phone systems can't do, but we'll discuss that later. These features can basically be pushed anywhere you need office connectivity. So whether you're at your office, your home, on your laptop, in an airport, at a coffee shop, anywhere you have internet access, these devices all register right back to ACC Telecom's phone system, which allow you to call anywhere in United States or Canada at no additional cost. So really it comes down to the bottom line and why everybody's here. In reality, the average savings of people moving over to voice over IP can be up to 80%, with the average saving being 40%. Now, another great thing about these solutions is because, again, you are our guests, labor and maintenance is all included at no extra cost. So no more truck rolls, no more having to call into the help desk and having us remote in and charge you for the system. Because you're our guests, because you're using our phones and phone line service, all labor and maintenance is included. That includes a break and fix of your actual telephones. Anything happens to your data network that we recommend to you, we're responsible for fixing it all. The other great thing about this is automatically networks all locations. Now, not only locations, but we're really networking people together. For example, I'm at home right now doing this webinar. The other sales guys at home, we have Kristen, who works out of North Carolina, Marianne, who does our parts and labor warranties out of New Jersey, and Chris Woodward, one of our top engineers here, is actually right out of Woodbridge, Virginia. So we're networking all those with just one phone, but more importantly is branch offices. If you want 5 or 6 in one state and 5 or 6 phones in another state, and then a headquarters with 100 phones, all this whole system, because it's all under one phone system, are automatically networked. We also save a lot of time with the installation. Back in phone system days, we actually took us weeks potentially to install an entire phone system, troubleshoot it, make sure everything's right. The way this system allows us to install it is it takes simply hours of our programming on site. Going back to software and software upgrades, applications, things like that, basically all those are free. Now, because you're using our enterprise level phone system, we're able to push that new features and software upgrades over to you automatically on a regular basis. So one of the newest applications that's currently being developed right now is an actually full attendant console, drag and drop phone calls, be able to see who's on the phone, who's not on the phone, just like you would see at companies that have hundreds of telephones or hundreds of employees. That's going to be pushed right over to you, and because you're already a customer of ours, then there will be no additional cost. And again, going back to the Go Green, it does reduce power and space, these type of phone systems. Again, we discussed the unlimited nationwide calling over all of Canada and the United States, so there's no more pay per minute, no long distance, no more AT&T and Verizon for your phone lines. And again, like we were saying, the enterprise standard features and applications that come with this system are ones that companies with thousands of employees use on a regular basis. We're able to price it out and send it over to you guys at a much lower cost. First example is conference bridging. Basically, you can have an unlimited amount of people on a conference bridge, just like we're doing this little go-to meeting right now. However, this does cost money. With the conference bridge, with the voice over IP, it doesn't quite do the web part yet. That's why we're using GoToMeeting, but it does do strictly voice. We also have a disaster recovery program. This might be one of the best reasons why voice over IP has been enacted. If you lose your internet access or if you lose your power in the building today, you're kind of out of luck. You don't really have phone calls. Without power, you can't make calls, can't receive calls. People are hearing a busy signal. With voice over IP, as soon as your premise-based router understands that, hey, there's no power, or hey, there's no internet here, it automatically shoots your calls to the automated attendant in the cloud, which we create for you. It sounds exactly like it would be on a normal business day. Thank you for calling company ABC. Please press 1 for sales, 2 for service, 3 to speak to Mark, 4 to speak to Sarah. And everybody in the company's cell phone is then associated with the different choices in the automated attendant. So it's not just one person's cell phone like many of the carriers currently do. It's everybody's cell phone is attached to the system. Once the power or the internet comes back on, phones automatically get rerouted back into the actual SIP phones or the ACC provided phones, and you're back up and running again. Another great feature is One Number Follow Me. This is a complete integration of your cell phone into the actual phone system, meaning you can have your phone ring, your home phone ring, your laptop phone ring, your IP phone at home ring all at the same time, or like most people like it, sequentially. So it rings my desk phone a couple times, I don't answer, tries my cell, I don't answer, tries my home phone, up, and then I go ahead and get that call. What's great about this service is we give you a phone number. Each phone extension is associated with a DID or phone number. So there's only one phone number to call to reach anybody you want to in the company. There's no more people's cell phones, people's home phones. It's just all one phone number. To the next thing, we give you call center solutions. It's actually enterprise level call center with reporting, enhanced distribution of calls, listen live while people are on calls, and barge in perhaps for new employees or people that aren't handling a situation correctly. And that's, of course, for the administrator or manager. Burstability. That's a great feature. Right now, you're limited to, say, 6, 7 phone lines. Once an 8th call comes in simultaneously, that person gets a busy signal. With voice over IP, we allow up to 10 additional call paths to come through. So for some reason, if you only pay for 6 phone lines and 12 people call you all at the same time, normally you wouldn't be able to take those calls. However, for $4 a month surcharge, we allow all those calls to come through. So you'll never not only get a busy signal, but never miss a call again. just to kind of sum it up here for everybody, bottom line is mobility. Take your ACC of Telecom approved phone anywhere where there's internet access, keeping that same phone number, that same extension. None of that ever changes. You're connected straight to the office with the simple touch of a button. Worry-free. Your IT personnel now don't have to worry about the phone system. You don't have to have an office manager be trained on how to use the phone system and how to make changes, delete people's mailboxes, add new employees. It's very, very easy to do through the portal. So now your IT personnel can deal with server upgrades and data information as opposed to having to deal with the phone system. We've taken that entire situation, put it in the cloud, and put it on ACC Telecom's back. So now that's our problem to deal with. As soon as there's any issues with the phones, you give us one phone call and we have it handled. Efficiencies are also increased within this type of program. Basically, adding lines and users is a simple click of a mouse. No more having to go in the back of the telecom room, make changes to the way the cabling's done. None of that's there anymore. We're able to print reports and graphs of different calls being made, making your business more efficient, and they can do the things that they were hired to do, not work on phone system issues. That's our job. All right, so the next thing I want to show you is this personal portal that I was telling you. Basically, the ACC Telecom customer portal, this one is done for each individual customer. So each customer has their own portal to be able to log in and see everything they want to with their phone system. Here we have the activity graph and path usage of the calls. So if you wanted to on the fly see a week's worth of calls, a day's worth of calls, or even an hour's worth of calls, inbound, outbound, however you want to see graphs, perhaps you want to know if between the hours of 2 and 4, if you should let a couple employees go home early because they don't even take any calls during that time, or maybe you need to hire an additional 3 or 4 employees during a certain time of day to be able to take all the calls that are coming through. The graphs and these reports will be able to tell you those things on the fly and let you plan better for your own business. Here we have another part of the portal, which is the services. This, in a way, is how we actually program the phone system ourselves. You go through from the arrows, you see the auto attendance and extensions. So if you want to make holiday messages, when there's a snowstorm or closure for some reason, you can go in there right from home, quickly make the changes you want to your automated attendance. You don't have to notify all your employees you're closed. They just make one phone call, find out they're closed, and they're good to go. Conference Bridge, it's set up right through that portal. You just click on Conference Bridge, add the amount of employees you want to send email invites to, or outside the office as well. It doesn't have to be internal. It can be anybody. The call center statistics are there below, as well as the Listen Live feature. Call center, who's in queue, who's waiting to take a call, how many people are in a call. So the administrators and other people can look at this kind of live view and determine, you know what, I need to go ahead and take a call. There's 10 people waiting in line right now. They've been waiting in line for 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and start taking these calls quickly. We also have music on hold and call recording. Now, call recording is one additional fee to this whole program. Everything else we've talked about so far really has not been any additional cost. Music on hold is kind of nice and interesting. Much like your smartphone, you can customize your own ringtones. With music on hold, we allow you to, on each individual phone, if you wanted to, have your own personalized music. Or, of course, we can do a company message, which is just an MP3 that you would just upload into the system yourself or have us do it. Either way, it doesn't make a difference. There are a few requirements for this type of solution. Now, like Barry was saying before, we do offer a hybrid Toshiba and Cisco phone system, so not necessarily all this is required to do what we're trying to talk about, but for the hosted phone system, it is. High-speed internet access, not DSL. DSL might work okay for one person working from home, but we really require a FiOS or at least a T1, Comcast, Cox cable, anything like that will work just fine. We do need the ACC Telecom approved SIP phones. minimum of Cat 5e cable infrastructure, and what that is just the blue cable that's going right into your computer. We can share that cable with the phone, so as long as you have one data cable to each location you want a computer, we can go ahead and run those cables for you. And ACC Telecom also does infrastructure cabling, so if there's a couple locations like a kitchen or a file room that doesn't necessarily have a data cable today, it's not a big deal. We can go ahead and run that for you. We also recommend an ACC-approved quality of service router and switch, and that just distinguishes us and makes us different from most of the other voice over IP providers. Is without these routers, there's no way to prioritize whether or not you're downloading Windows updates, someone's on YouTube, multiple users just on the internet, people browsing, pop-up video ads, antivirus updates. All those can impact your voice quality. With the quality of service router and switch, we can almost guarantee that that will not happen because your voice is priority over everything else in the network, and your voice quality will be perfect. Just to summarize everything, again, we're looking at a total cost of ownership. Why you're looking at a phone system like this is because we're trying to lower the total cost of ownership compared to the actual owning your own phone system. So the first thing on there is you don't have to buy your own phone system and don't need a phone closet. There are no truck rolls for the changes that need to be made to the phone system, all done right through the portal. We have a flat rate billing package that bundles all your usage. So what that really does is kind of enable you to have an IT budget set up for 2012 today, knowing that there's not going to be software and maintenance upgrades, knowing what your phone bill is going to be every single month without the kind of crazy little surcharges and things you see on your bill that really don't make much sense. And you know, I've been looking at bills for 5 years, and I know Barry's been doing it for 30 years. There's no two phone bills that look the same. That's why we wanted to make our bills look the same for every customer, so you can look at it, see exactly what your monthly payment is, what all the charges are, and you're good to go. There's never any questions about that. We're also going to try to leverage your existing IT investment as best we can to use the voice over IP products. Now, if anything, what we would do is replace it with voice over IP ready devices to put your data network for the next 10 years along with your phone system. We're going to save the IT staff workload, not having to worry about phone systems and fixing problems anymore. We're going to do all that. We're not going to charge you a penny for any upgrades, free softwares. They're all done automatically, pushed over the internet. The only responsibility from myself and Brett and the other salespeople are simply to call the customers, let them know these new softwares are available to you, and see whether or not it makes sense for your organization. This gives you more features per dollar than any PBX ever could. Increased productivity and efficiency. These are more like soft costs that really can't be determined by true dollar bills, like the 40% cost savings. That's a hard cost. Everybody understands that. Soft costs are a little bit harder to explain. But unified communications. We're giving you voicemail to email, the ability to get those emails on your smartphone. So no matter where you are, as long as you have a cell phone or your laptop, you're going to get your voicemails. So there's no excuse for employees to miss calls anymore or to not call somebody back. We're going to give you disaster recovery program, whether it be just one single line going into your phone system, preventing that from when the power goes out, sending it off to the automated tenant in the cloud, going to people's cell phones, or the overall disaster recovery of, hey, we got to get out of this building, pick up all your phones, take it home, take it to a little remote office, plug it into the internet, and we're back in business again. Again, every IP phone can move anywhere there's internet, so that goes right along with the disaster recovery and the ability to work from home. With the traffic in D.C., Northern Virginia, Maryland areas, I mean, it could take, I only live about 20 minutes from work, and it takes me 45, maybe an hour to get there sometimes. My boss allows me to work from home on occasion in the morning from 7 to about 8:30. I'm on my emails, making calls to customers with my IP phone. Jump in the shower, head on to work, miss all the traffic. It saves me a lot of time being able to work from home and be able to call customers and be able to log in and do everything I can do just in the office at home. It's also great for when there is a foot of snow on the ground, and my little Mazda 3 is not doing very well in the actual snow itself, so I like to try to stay at home, work from home as much as I can when that happens. I don't know if boss likes that or not, but he's muted right now, so he can't respond. Anyway, we also have the own secure programming portal we talked about, adding lines and users immediately on a click of a mouse. There's no more wait period, no more Verizon having to schedule you a week out, having us to come out with a truck roll, hooking up your phone lines, and you get a bill. We don't do that anymore. It's all gone. Real-time call reporting on the fly, anytime you want to be able to see what's going on in your organization, where the calls are coming from, be all right there for you to see. There's no capacity problems anymore. Capacity meaning limitations on how large I can grow the phone system. This phone system has unlimited amount of growth potential. If you needed to have 10 employees today and 500 employees in 1 year, with older style phone systems, you have to upgrade cabinets, upgrade phones, upgrade cards. With this solution, you have an unlimited amount of growth potential available. And again, we connect all branches and employees together using one system and 4-digit dialing. So I can 4-digit dial anybody in the company from any location where I have internet access. Now, the next thing we're going to go ahead and talk about here is the other option, which is, we call it the VoIP 2.0 SIP trunking. What this basically is phone lines over your internet. Now, we can use your existing phone system, add some sort of device in there, which I'll show you on the next slide, and give you the analog phone lines to your older ComDial via Siemens phone system. If you have a newer phone system, we're actually able to connect the SIP trunks directly into an IP card and give you the same service you would with the hosted, except you keep all the features that you've purchased with your phone system. Here's the actual diagram, a little bit more than what the hosted is. That one device in the middle called integrated access device, that's only needed if you have an older phone system that cannot accept SIP directly. And the reason why you need to understand why this technology works so well without an IAD or an integrated access device is because Verizon, Google, AT&T, you name it, they have all upgraded their networks years ago to voice over IP. So what we're doing is streamlining that signal straight into your business without having little bottlenecks of analog or digital converters. We're putting that directly into your business, giving you better quality, if not the same quality of what you've already experienced. Many of our customers have said that have PRIs and T1s for voice right now, when they move to our SIP technology, they find that the phone line quality and the phone calls is better that of analog or the PRI calls they're used to. But the diagram's fairly easy. You have the phones, you have your phone system, you have a device that converts internet over to whatever signal that phone system needs to have. Of course, you need internet access, and then it goes to the on-net calling, satellite offices within the office, wherever. It's pretty self-explanatory, once you understand it. The benefits of it are much the same as the hosted platform. The only difference being the feature list really isn't there anymore. Communications, you still have unlimited calling throughout all of North America. We're going to give you that same exact disaster recovery program. So whatever your phone system has for automated attendant, we're going to put that in the cloud. So when that power goes out or when that internet goes down, we're able to go ahead and send customers right to that same location, and they don't even know the difference. Savings, again, will come to about 40 to 80%, eliminating the need for any PRI charges, eliminating the need for most of your analog lines. You may want to keep one or two for credit card, postage machines, modems, things like that, but everything else can be completely eliminated where we can just run our SIP trunks. And again, it's an unlimited amount of SIP trunks. So if you need 100 phone lines today and 20 tomorrow, it's a click of a mouse to do that. You also will keep all your phone numbers. There'll be you'll never lose your actual phone numbers. You keep them all. And we can also order you new DIDs just like T1 PRI providers can. So if you want for some reason a California phone number, a Virginia number, a Texas area code, a Maine number, just to give yourself maybe a more North America presence, we are able to offer you any phone numbers you want at least the first 3 digits anyway, because phone numbers are getting harder and harder to find these days. We can give you numbers across the whole country, so people in Michigan might be calling a local number, reaching you here in Maryland, and know none the wiser that you're actually calling out of state. Or we can give you 410 numbers, whatever numbers you want to advertise in different phone books, numbers you want to add, so that way you can track on where your money is best spent in the different advertising venues that are available to you. So that basically wraps everything up. And the last thing I wanted to just talk about was do a quick question and answer session with anybody that has questions. So I'm going to, so if you click on the little raise your hand, let me see, yeah, raise your hand thing, I will be able to take people's calls if anybody wants to ask questions. And I'm going to unmute Barry and Brett. And I don't see anybody